In today's video, I'll be showing you how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. In our first example, we are adding 3 over 4 plus 2 over 7. So if you look at the denominator, 4 and 7, you can turn both those into a 28. So the common denominator here is 28. To get a 28 with the first fraction, you multiply that 4 by 7. And remember, both top and bottom by 7. To make this 7 into a 28, you multiply by 4, and remember, top and bottom. So then you get 21 over 28 plus 8 over 28. Now that you have common denominator, you're able to add your fractions. So 21 plus 8 is 29. And remember, when you add fractions, you keep the denominator. You do not add these two. You just bring it over. 29 over 28 does not reduce, so you are done. Example 2, 3 over 8 plus 5 over 4. The common denominator is 32. So to get the common denominator, multiply this by 4. And remember, top and bottom by 4. Multiply the second fraction by 8. And let's simplify. Now that we have common denominator, we're able to add our fractions. So 12 plus 40 is 52. Remember, keep the denominator the same. Do not add those. Both these are divisible by 4, so we can simplify. And if you simplify, you get 13 over 8. Now try this example. Pause the video. Okay, so on this example, our common denominator is 42. So to get that 42 at the bottom, you multiply this by 7, both top and bottom. And then on the second fraction, you multiply both top and bottom by 6. So do the math. You get 49 over 42 plus 18 over 42. Now that you have common denominator, you're able to add your fractions. So if you add the numerators, 49 plus 18 is 67. And when you add fractions, you just bring down the denominator. Does not simplify, so you are done. For subtraction, the exact same rule applies. When you are subtracting fractions, you have to get common denominator. The common denominator here is 63. So multiply the first fraction top and bottom by 7. To get the 63 on the second fraction, multiply both top and bottom by 9. So if you do the math, you get negative 56 over 63 minus 18 over 63. Now that you have common denominator, you're able to subtract your fractions. Negative 56 minus 18 is negative 74. When you subtract fraction, you keep the same denominator, so bring it down. Nothing reduces, so you are done. So pause the video and try the following problem. To subtract 4 over 7 minus 2 over 3, you need common denominator. Common denominator here is 21, so multiply the first fraction, both top and bottom, by 3. Second fraction, multiply both top and bottom by 7. So you will end up with 12 over 21 minus 14 over 21. Now that you have common denominators, you can subtract your fractions. So 12 minus 14 is negative 2. And when you subtract fractions, you bring down the denominator. Nothing simplifies, so you are done. To multiply fractions, all you have to do is multiply straight across. So in other words, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So negative 10 times 3 is negative 30. 7 times 5 is 35. Both of these are divisible by 5. So you get negative 6 over 7. Try the following problem. Pause the video. Again, to multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So negative 100 times 2 is negative 200. 3 times 6 is 18. Both of these are divisible by 2. So let's simplify our fraction. And our final answer is negative 100 over 9. When you divide fractions, you have to do what's called keep, change, and flip. By that I mean keep the numerator fraction the same, change your sign from division to multiplication, and flip the bottom fraction, so the reciprocal. So let's try it. Keep the numerator the same, so 2 over 3. Change our division to multiplication, and you flip the denominator. So reciprocal of 4 over 5 is 5 over 4. Notice that your division problem turned into a multiplication problem. So to multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. 5 times 2 is 10, and 3 times 4 is 12. So reduce the fraction. They are both divisible by 2. And your final answer is 5/6. So try the following problem and pause the video. Again, to divide fractions, you will keep, change, and flip. So keep the numerator the same, change the sign from division to multiplication, and flip the denominator. So your division problem turns into a multiplication problem. Then you just multiply straight across. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 2 is 12. Nothing simplifies, so you are done. Okay, now I want to show you how to simplify with fractions the easy way. So the long way for the first problem is by putting the 10 over 1 and then multiplying across. So let's do it this way first, and then you'll see the shortcut. 10 times 2 is 20. 1 times 5 is 5. And this reduces to give you 4. So let me show you an alternative on how to solve this same problem a different way. Okay, so here's what I do. Look at the 10 and the 5. 5 goes into 10 2 times, and then multiply whatever you have left over. 2 times 2 is 4, and that's the shortcut. So if you didn't understand it, check the second one out. So again, if you were to do this the long way, put this over 1 and then multiply across. But to apply my simplification technique, all you have to do is see how many times 7 goes into 49, and that's 7 times. And then multiply whatever you have left over. So 5 times 7 is 45. Okay, example 3. 4 goes into 16 4 times. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So notice that the only thing in the numerator is left with is a 3. Only thing left in the denominator is a 4. So remember, the shortcut here is to simplify, and then that will save you a lot of time. 20 goes into negative 100 negative 5 times. And now we are left with, and notice that the 5 does not go into 9 evenly, so you leave that the same. So you're left with negative 5 times 9 in the numerator. That makes it a negative 45. And the denominator, you're left with a 5. And this fraction does reduce. Negative 45 divided by 5 is negative 9. Okay, so try the following problem by simplifying. So pause the video. Okay, so 4 goes into 25 times. And that's all the simplifying. So now all you have to do now is multiply. So on the numerator, there's only 1 left over, so bring it over. And at the bottom, you have a 5 times a 7. So 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, example 2. So let's simplify. 2 goes into 4 2 times. Notice that I didn't use the negative this time, but don't forget it's still at the top. And then 3 goes into 21 7 times. So let's see what we have left over. In the numerator, the only thing that I have left over is a negative 1 from here. And at the bottom, we have 7 times 2, which is 14. Nothing simplifies, so you are done. So we are going to use the simplification technique to simplify the following algebraic expression. So 2 over 3 times negative 9x. So on the side, you will do 2 over 3 times negative 9. So let's simplify. 3 goes into 9 3 times. All we have to do now is multiply whatever's left over. So 2 times negative 3 gives you negative 6. Don't forget the x. And then we're going to do 2 over 3 times 21. So 2 over 3 times 21. Let's simplify. 3 goes into 21 7 times. So then multiply whatever you have left over. So 2 times 7 is 14. Now we are distributing negative 4 over 5. So negative 4 over 5 times 20. Let's do it by simplification. 5 goes into 20 4 times, and then let's multiply whatever we have left over. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. Don't forget the x. Negative 4 over 5 times negative 15. So let's simplify. 5 goes into 15 3 times. Multiply whatever you have left over. Notice that you have a negative 4 times a negative 3. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. So all you have to do now is combine like terms. Negative 6x minus 16x, that gives you negative 22x. And then 14 plus 12 gives you 26. You don't have any more like terms, so you are done. Okay, so pause the video and try the following problem. Okay, so we are distributing a negative 2 over 3. So we are going to do negative 2 over 3 times negative 9. So let's simplify. 3 goes into 9 3 times, and then we're going to multiply everything that's left over. So we have a negative 2 times negative 3 left over. So multiply those two, you get positive 6. Don't forget the x. Then we're going to do negative 2 over 3 times negative 18. Okay, so 3 goes into 18 6 times. So multiply whatever you have left over. And it's negative 2 times negative 6. And then negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Now we are distributing a negative 5 over 4. So negative 5 over 4 times negative 8. So let's simplify this. 4 goes into 8 2 times. Multiply whatever you have left over. So you have a negative 5 times a negative 2. That gives you a positive 10x. And then negative 5 over 4 times positive 4. So 4 goes into 4 one time. Multiply whatever you have left over. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. So combine your like terms. 6x plus 10x gives you 16x. And 12 minus 5 is 7. Okay, so this is the end of this video. And remember, I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to Palomo TV.